Kung saan mag-earn ng more business, yun yung gusto mong i-prioritize. Internally, ang priority mo syempre sa strategy. Kasi dapat i-support mo yung business strategy. Aside from itong revenues, profit is the next is stability. Dapat meron kang continuous stream. Ito yung tinatawag natin continuous stream of revenue. So, ano yung role ng CIO din? This is more on, diba? Actually, hand-in with operations siya. Ang nakikipag-usap sa client is actually the operations. Pero you make sure na si operations will be able to do their job. So, anong machine gagamitin nila? May cellphone na sila. Paano sila mag-i-email siya? Mag-i-email. So, sino magsaset up ng email ng company? Tayo yung tool. So, isipin mo lagi na IT is a tool for them to work together. Tayo yung nag-make sure na anong server gagamitin. Diba? Saan ilalagay yung lahat ng email. For us, kasi yung documents, project documents, diba? Anong software gagamitin. Tayo rin yun kasabi. Nagamit ka ba ng Microsoft Office, Visio, project, or pupunta ka sa open source. Gusto mo libre o gusto mo bibili ka na sa inyo ng software? Gusto mong kayo ang mag-set up ng server or hindi? For Ripple, ang ginamit natin yung Google Apps kasi libre yun. You don't have to buy a server to hook your email. Try the tools to be used by the operations in direction for the strategy of the company. That's internally. And then we protect it from the external factors. If ever yung siyempre, lalo sa IT, meron kang ilang klaseng data na mini-maintain. You have your knowledge base, diba? Which is your program. So yung source code, dapat protect yun. So not all the people can access yung source code. They can only access the installer, but not the source code. Kung may nag-hack nun sa website, diba? Dapat hindi rin niya makaya i-access yung source code from there. Ito yung mga priorities mo. Make sure na yung operations are able to operate. Diba? Yun yung number one. Kasi they will provide you with the revenue. Kasi kung oras na ayaw mo naman masisi na bakit sasabihin sa'yo, patay yung server, paano ako maka-record, paano ko i-log yung mga issues, di ba? Responsibility mo yung make sure na continuous yung operation. Next is you keep your data secured. Yun. So, may burn kang source code na, and then burn ka pa data ng mga per department. Kasi HR, doon yung records ng mga empleyado, doon yung mga salaries. So you can isolate rin sila. Siyempre dapat hindi yung normal employee will be able to see yung mga files nila. Make sure na you keep the data from each other. Minsan, kailangan din sila, nagpapakonsult rin sila kasi customers. Kasi diba, nasa IT tayo, more on consulting business. Kasi ikaw yung CIO, ikaw yung mismong hingi na suggestion. Diba, yung customer may kailangan. Paano ko ikabit yung dalawa kong store? Then you'll be the one to give the recommendation. Kung hindi na kaya nitong operations.
So parang dumedepende na rin po sa industry nyo kung ano yung trabaho po ng CIO.
Oh. IT company tayo, we have a product. We make our own products. Yun yung isang additional role na ginagawa ko. Kasi sinabi ni CEO, we'll make an Android program or an Apple iPad program na pwede natin ibenta sa Apple Store. We'll do that. Na different from maintaining an IT infrastructure. Kasi nasa maintenance mode na eh. Once you set up a company, naayos mo yung network, meron ka ng server, meron ka ng lahat, parang ka na, standby. Make sure ka na walang problema na. Dahil may continuous requests, continuous development sa product, you have to monitor yung mga product. Sa case ko, dahil IT to, so meron ka pang yung mga revisions from the product revisions, to make sure na yung quality is maintained. Yun nga. The fact na kinokontrol mo yung network, you will be able to direct yung culture. Let's say in FB, before in FB, naka-all time nila. So, it's really, kapag nag-work, parang sinusinikonsap ng tao, ng tao. So, by means of security, limiting yung magagawa ng isang tao, they'll be more focused sa work. Although we allow yung pa rin yung kasi as after office. So we try to balance things pero yun naman kasi yung culture na gusto namin ibigay talaga. Diba? So you work during office hours and then we can play after. With that in mind, we'll make sure na yun din yung ina-enforce sa IT. Bawal yung mga certain websites, of course. Bawal ka mag-job hunt sa office, diba? Pag nawawala ka na sa, let's say, marami kang ginagawa, diba? Di ba? Sino unahin ko dito sa mga ginagawa ko, diba? You always go to saan ba yung most makakakuha ko ng revenue. Kasi that way, hindi masasayang effort. Parang ano yun, nag-juggle ka ng bola. Diba? Papabayaan mo mahulog yung ibang bola kasi di mo na kayang saluhin lahat. Eh. Okay? Basically, yun yung guide namin. Saan mas may more revenue na may mas more stable. Where nagpo-program, may kausap ang nakikipag-usap sa client is the consultant. Okay? So from the consultant, pinasa niya sa developer na gagawin sa program. Then si programmer, bibigay naman sa QA to make sure na tama yung ginawa niya. Then saka lang babalik sa consultant. Then sa consultant to client ka. So far, yung ginawa namin is internal operation pa lang. Hindi pa namin expose yung issue tracker sa client. If ever mangyari yun, syempre, consult muna kung ano yung expectation. Kasi it's more on ano naman setting the expectations right eh. If you meet the expectations, then it's more or less become of a favor. Before you start anything, you have to make sure na you know what's expected. Ako lang is more on making sure na it would work as CPO. So, yung measuring the performance nito from itong product. You make sure na yung product mo is stable. Yung data mo is walang masyadong nangyayaring problema sa network. Let's say yung nagka-crash. So, as much as possible, walang nagka-crash. Kasi hassle yun eh. If imagine mo kung nagka-problema yung network yan, tapos lahat ng tao hindi nakaka-connect. So, yun nililesson namin itong mga incident na nagda-down yung system. Kung wala communication between these two partners, diba? Mas as possible, hindi ka magagawa na ganung step, diba? Unless you want to, revolution yun, eh. You want to enforce change or may something critical happen. So, something you're not prepared. Yung kailangan mo dyan. How do you manage and control these things? So, wala kang isang central place to see. So, you have different tools para ngayon. Don't see na mangyayari na magkasama-sama sila lahat. So, you continue to have different tools to be used for specific purposes. As much as possible, if we can make use of cloud computing as parang a means na we're not incurring additional costs and then still be able to do our work. We have actually used several. So, meron kaming lock-in to do remote control ng mga computers. Let's say our client, if ever they have problems, we'll use lock-in. Lock-in is a form of cloud computing. Before, we have a software pa, PC Anywhere installed. Kasi modem pa kami dun sa branch. Ngayon, with lock-in, they just need to have internet. Sabi kami may internet. Makakita na kami. Yun yung mga ibang as part of our applications portfolio. We'll maximize yung tools that are available. Yun din pala, kasama din sa roles ng CIO. Lagi siya nag-explore. Lagi siya nag-research, nag-get updated, kung ano yung pwedeng gamitin.
The CIO job as we know it is being transformed beyond recognition. I'm Jaime Capella for the Corporate Executive Board IT Practice. We think that the most successful CIOs of today won't be in IT in 5 years' time. Several factors are driving this. Companies are reinventing their central functions. IT faces major changes in the supply side, with technology offered as a service, delivered externally, and on the cloud. And at the same time, knowledge workers themselves are becoming much more tech-savvy and self-reliant. As a result, corporate IT will change dramatically over the next 5 years. And in fact, we believe that corporate IT shops will be much smaller, with only 1 in 4 internal IT jobs retained. And if you think about it, in this context, companies won't need the kinds of CIO jobs they have today. So CIOs will have to choose from divergent paths. Some will grow in stature and business impact and run business services groups. They will oversee HR, finance, procurement, facilities, and other shared services. CIOs that are known for their general management ability and customer service ethos are well positioned for these jobs. Some CIOs will take on leadership jobs running specific business units, particularly those where information technology is key to competitive advantage. Of course, some CIOs will stay in IT, and they'll run the technology operations of business services groups. They'll have narrower, more technical jobs, managing vendors and integrating their offerings. Which path will you take? Are you ready for the challenge? At the Corporate Executive Board, we help CIOs be more effective executives and advance their careers.